this is Paul. Yes. Um, there's this individual in the Bible known as Paul. It means small or little. Yeah. And I know you consider me, Paul Budnick, this little American citizen that happens to be homeless, right? That did not get a phone call whether or not I'm going to get any sort of rental assistance. Yeah. That happens to be out of money and haven't really been able to shower for about the last 12 days. Almost out of tobacco. And you thought that you would take my hands in my mouth and I, as a revivalist, yes, would not be able to say what I know is very important. Mhm. Now, a lot of these individuals that do their missionary work or they do their pastoral work, yes, this idea of the pulpit, while you're standing there and you had to eat the congregation on you so that they could all preach through you. Yes. The mouth is very important to God. Yes. Mhm. Now, as another individual that has the first name Paul, yes, I know you think that there's no possible reason that I could have some influence on Christianity, and quite possibly nobody will ever want to hear what I have to say. But I do know that I have the right to sue every institution of Christianity that has any knowledge of forgery, fraud, child abuse, and child kidnapping. And then the refusal to exonerate the accused when you know they didn't commit a crime. Now, this individual was known by the name of Saul. Yes, this was a Jewish name which he received from his Jewish parents. Yes, but through a Hebrew of the Hebrews, he was born. But though a Hebrew of the Hebrews, he was born in a Gentile city. Yeah. Of his parents, we know nothing. We don't know where they were from, what they were doing, except that his father was of the tribe of Benjamin, Philemon 3:5. Yeah. And a Pharisee. Acts 23:6, that Paul had acquired by some means the Roman franchise. I was born free. Now, this must have been something special to those individuals back then that they were born free. Yeah. And I think Paul, numerous times, in fact, just looking over the definition of his name and who he is as an individual, yes, this concept of the freedom of being born in the United States, yes, where you have knowledge of civil rights violations, and you said, since I'm not going to be in your family, I'm going to want to get control of my destiny today, okay? I'm going to want you, the government, all to remove your dominion out of my life because I'm going to shoot you right now. I was born free and I'm going to get that back. Poop, poop. Now, this individual, Paul, yeah, he oftentimes did mention that in the Bible. And as we look at who he was as a person, I'm sure he's somebody that we would want to know about. Yes. Seems like he authored a few of the books, and I'm not that familiar with his actual biographical sketch. I know that he oftentimes told people, oh, what's this here about the prick? Yeah. Saul's conversion in AD 37, the persecutor was to be converted, had undertaken to follow up the believers, yes, unto strange cities. Saul naturally turned his thoughts to Damascus. What befell him as he journeyed thither is related in detail three times in the Acts. First, by the historian of his own person. First, by the historian in his own person, then in the two addresses made by Paul at Jerusalem and before Agrippa. St. Luke's statements to be read in Acts 9:3 to 19 were, however, the words, "It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks," including in the English version, ought to be omitted as done in the Revised Version. The sudden light from heaven, the voice of Jesus speaking with authority to his persecutor, Saul struck to the ground, blinded, overcome, 3 days suspense. The coming of Ananias as a messenger of the Lord and Saul's baptism. Ooh, these were the leading features of the great event, and in these we must look for the chief significance of the conversion. It was in Damascus that he was received into the church. Yes, by Ananias, and here, to the astonishment of all his hearers, he proclaimed simply that he was occupied in his work, and with increasing vigor for many days up to that time when imminent danger drove him from Damascus. From the epistle to the Galatians 1:17, we learn that the many days were at least a good part of 3 years. AD 37 to 40. And that Paul, not thinking it necessary to procure authority to teach from the apostles that were before him, went after his conversion to Arabia and returned from thence to us. We know nothing whatever of his visit to Arabia, but upon his departure from Damascus, we are again on his story. The double evidence of St. Luke in the Acts of the Epistles. According to the former, the Jews in wait for Saul, intending to kill him, my gosh, and watch the gates of the city that he might not escape. Well, they wanted to kill him. He wasn't real popular with any of the individuals that he used to hang out with. His thought was, well, I had this big conversion experience and went around telling everybody, and eventually they thought, nah, we'll just get rid of him. It's better if we kill him off than have to listen to what he has to say. As the work grew, my golly, he did a lot of stuff, didn't he?